What's up guys, welcome back to another Profound Studios tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create tech house like the man John Summit. He's been killing it for the past 12 months or so, so I thought I would dive in and create a project file for you guys that I'm giving away completely for free. There will be a link below in the description. So I'm just going to go through the structure of the track and some of the leads and bass lines I've used, and why I've used that certain structure, why I've used those certain sounds. And we're going to be taking apart one of his tracks called Dreams, which this project file is heavily referenced to. And yeah, let's just dive straight in. Now if you're new here and not already subscribed to the channel, please click below and do so now please. It helps out the channel a bunch, and also feel free to leave a like and a comment below. Alright, let's get straight into it. Hey guys, so here we are inside my FL Studio. So I've got the reference track loaded in. It's Dreams by John Summit, and can't remember the other name off the top of my head, but he collabed on it with someone. It's on Repopulate Mars, I believe. But yeah, so basically I just referenced the structure completely from this track. As you can see, I've got my little break where his breaks are, the drops where his drops are, and so forth. Just use that as a reference for the structure, and then I also dove into some of the leads he used, as well as kind of techniques used in the breakdown. So let's go through those. Let's start off with, we're going to listen to his track, his build up first, and then we'll listen to mine, and we'll show you how that sounds. So this part of the track is the first time the vocal actually gets brought in. Okay, so that's what his track sounds like. Now we'll listen to what I recreated for you guys. Okay, so that's what I have recreated, and let's first of all dive into the bass line. Now you can hear in John Summit's track, let's go back, the bass line, those first few bars, it's almost like the bass line's like a pitch bend sort of effect on it, how it kind of goes up and down real smoothly, like right there. You can hear that up and down. And so how I recreated that was, let's go back into my bass line just quickly. Let's mute that track. Now let's go into the bass line. Now the preset is just a basic saw bass, so I used, I got from a Evolution of Sound preset back. Just a simple saw bass. But so how I got that little pitch up and down sort of effect, it's really simple. You see down here the mono legato, you want both of those turned on, and then you have your portamento time. I had about 86 milliseconds, and then we'll go into the actual pattern itself. I'll make sure that piano roll is in the frame properly. Yep. So as you can see here, I've got these notes, they overlap into the next one, and that's what helps create, with the mono legato on, it helps create that little groove you've kind of got there. Whereas let's say if I cut this back, see with that gap, there's a cut into the next note. It doesn't groove like how the John Summit track does. Whereas if I have them slightly overlapping, then you got that little pitch bendy kind of effect, which is really cool tip to mix up your bass lines. Next part of John Summit's track, so he has, this part is a drop right here, and then next he has a break, small little, let's turn this back on, he has a small little break here. Let me just turn down the actual original a little bit. So he has a small break here, and then he brings in a new element into the track, which is a lead. Now I've got, it's not the exact same lead, but it's pretty similar. Let's listen to what I recreated. It's pretty similar. Whereas whereas with his track it's I think his lead just has the cutoff is a bit more open, but other than that it's pretty spot on. Now obviously, like as I've said before in these sort of remakes, these aren't used to completely like blatantly rip off the producer's track. It's just used as a kind of a guide on how to, what methods and techniques they may have used and how you can use them in your tracks. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. I'm not trying to blatantly rip off anyone, but yeah, so that's the lead. It's just another Serum preset, again from Evolution of Sounds preset bank, which I've had for a while and like to utilize some of my personal work. Let's just listen to it by itself. Lead number 1. So I could open up the filter a bit more to sound a bit more like the. I reckon it sounds good like that. It's a really simple lead. As you can see, the pattern itself is nothing crazy. It's just 4 shots underneath the first kick. Pretty basic stuff. So yeah, let's listen to. Now for the drums themselves, they're also quite basic. I've just got closed hat, open hat, clap. I've got a top loop. I've got some percussion happening, little drum sort of groove. Let me solo the percussion. Pretty basic, just a nice little groove to kind of carry the track. It's important with these sort of grooves that you want it to, it's got to suit the bass line, otherwise it's just not going to work. They're just going to clash and it's going to sound just silly. So it's just a real basic sort of percussion just to help. Whoops, I've still got John Summit original. Whoops. And then underneath all of that, I've also got just a little simple, a little hat groove. With just some hi-hats kind of just underneath everything. And then we've got a top loop here, just a simple shaker. And with the clap. And we bring in the hats. And that's and then the percussion as well. And that's the drums for the track. Pretty simple stuff. Oops, I keep accidentally turning the Summit track on. Let's just, okay, let's mute that. Don't want that on at the moment. Okay, so then, as the same in the track, he has a break here, little break right here, which he takes out the low end, which I've done. I've automated the kick and bass so that, as you can hear, say in this part of the drop, the low end is in, and then with this automation, I've taken out the low end for those bars, just to kind of give the listener's ears a break, and then we go in to the next part of the drop, which brings in a new lead. So we'll listen to the John Summit track. Which is pretty, the lead I have isn't the exact same, but it's quite similar. And then again, we have a little break here. Just like in the John Summit track. Which is pretty much, the break is just the low end cut out of the kick and bass. The little breakdown here is just low end cut out. They cut out the low end of the kick and bass. It's got all the drums. And like a new part of the vocal. So what I did, and also you can hear here, he adds in a string in the background. So I went ahead and did the same thing. Let's turn this off again. I've got a string just slowly coming in, as you can see, with the volume automated. Also, I have the drums kind of filter out. Because in the this track here, he has his drums filter out, and then he has a part of the track it's just the vocal. And you can kind of hear the snare build up in the background slowly coming in, and then in this part you can hear the drums slowly coming back in. So that's a really cool way to kind of build suspense into the last drop of your track. It kind of, instead of just having simple little breaks in between each drop with just that are pretty much just the drops, but with no low end in kick and bass, he's done something a little bit different here to build some more tension and suspense. So I think that was a quite cool little trick he did, and let's just listen to the version that I made. Quite similar. Let's make sure it's off. As you can hear, the drums are filtering back in. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for this tutorial. I've also, before I finish off actually, there's also in drop 2 and 3, there's also some rides that he added just underneath the drums, which sound, as you can hear, the little rides there. Whoops. Let me turn that track off again. Make sure that's off. Okay. Oh my god, I keep turning it on. What am I doing? Okay. Oh, there we go. It's pretty much the same structure as the second drop, really. And then, you know, has this part of the first, has the first lead, and then this next part of the drop has this second lead come in. In regards to the processing of each drum element and things, it's all pretty basic. You've got to remember that sample packs, the drums are already processed, so you don't need to do anything too special to them. Like, I mean, just basic EQing, some reverb. I mean, that's all that's really required. Again, with my open hat, just basic EQing, tail my clap. It's all about just kind of EQing, getting the leveling right, cutting out your unwanted frequencies so sounds aren't clashing with one another. Because yeah, as I said, sample packs you buy these days, like, the sounds are already quite processed like really well, so there's no need to go ahead and do anything crazy with your EQ or compressors and things like that. It's just unnecessary. But and then with the bass line, with the processing after that, I mean, all I really did was just EQ, again, frequencies that I didn't need. I didn't boost anything or anything like that. It's just really basic EQing. And then the leads, same goes with the lead, really. I just boosted the highs slightly. So yeah, really simple stuff. But that's about it for this tutorial. I hope this project file helps you guys out. I hope that me giving a run through on this, his track Dreams, and like how I kind of similarly, I don't even know if I'm speaking English right now, but what I'm trying to say is I created it almost the exact same way. I didn't want to blatantly copy, but I hope this little insight just kind of helps your productions and that you can get ideas into how some of the pros are doing things. And yeah, if you do like the video, please, again, I'll remind you to please subscribe. It helps out a lot. Drop a like, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Again, there'll be a free link to this project file in the description below. And yeah, have at it. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys with next week's tutorial. Cheers.